Hello and welcome. This video is a two-part series that explains the basic infrastructure components of Microsoft Azure. You'll learn about the physical infrastructure management of resources and have a chance to create an Azure resource. In this video, you will learn about Azure Accounts and complete an interactive lab using the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. Part 2 will cover architecture and resource crafting. The goal of this video is to narrate the Microsoft Learn content, demystify these concepts, add additional information when needed, making concepts easier to comprehend, and you can follow along on the Microsoft Learn page. A triangle with MS in the center shows a page number of the Microsoft Learn unit. In this module, you will receive an introduction to Microsoft Azure, learn about Azure Accounts, free student accounts, then we will dive into the Microsoft Learn Sandbox, where you get to try out some CLI and PowerShell commands. Azure is a continually expanding set of cloud resources that help you meet current and future business challenges. Azure gives you the freedom to build, manage, and deploy applications on a massive global network using your favorite tools and framework. Let's take a moment to watch the video from Microsoft Learn.
What is Azure? Azure is Microsoft's cloud computing platform with an ever-expanding set of services to help you build solutions to meet your business goals. Azure supports infrastructure, platform, and software as a service computing with services such as virtual machines running in the cloud, website and database hosting, and advanced computing services like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT. Most of Azure's services are pay-as-you-go. You only pay for the computing time that you use. If your business needs complete control over your computing environment, Azure allows you to host virtual machines in the cloud. You can create virtual machines from scratch, upload your own virtual hard drive, or choose from an array of templates that Azure provides. Azure also provides cloud-based storage, which allows you to store your application or backup data safely and securely. Azure's app services provide a scalable hosting platform where developers can create web-based applications using popular development frameworks. You can easily deploy, operate, and scale your apps in a fully managed environment. With Azure Functions, you can create event-driven, serverless applications with no coding required. Azure Container Instances and Azure Kubernetes Service allow you to deploy containerized applications with fully managed services. Azure offers a choice of fully managed relational and in-memory databases, spanning proprietary and open-source engines, and Microsoft's Cosmos DB provides support for several popular NoSQL APIs. Azure's artificial intelligence and machine learning services empower developers and data scientists with a wide range of productive experiences for building, training, and deploying machine learning models faster. Azure's regional data centers allow you to distribute your applications globally, so you can locate your data and apps where they're needed most, thereby improving your application performance for your customers. The Azure Portal lets you create, configure, and control all your services and resources from a single, easy-to-use web-based interface. Microsoft Azure offers a wide array of cloud computing services where infrastructure management, scalability, availability, and security are handled for you, saving you time and money.
On the screen, you can see several benefits that Azure provides, so you can easily invent with purpose. Be ready for the future. Continuous innovation from Microsoft supports your development today and your product vision for tomorrow. Build on your terms. You have choices. With a commitment to open source and support for all languages and frameworks, you can build how you want and deploy where you want. Operate hybrid seamlessly. On-premise, in the cloud, and at the edge. Microsoft will meet you where you are. Microsoft will also allow you to integrate and manage your environments with tools and services designed for a hybrid cloud solution. Trust your cloud. Get security from the ground up, backed by a team of experts and proactive compliance trusted by enterprises, governments, and startups. Azure provides more than 100 services that enable you to do everything from running your existing application on virtual machines to exploring new software such as intelligence bots and mixed reality. Many teams start exploring the cloud by moving their existing applications to virtual machines, VM for short, that run in Azure. Migrating your existing apps to virtual machines is a good start, but the cloud is so much more than just a place to run your virtual machines. For example, Azure provides artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning services. Machine learning is also known as ML. For example, Azure provides artificial intelligence AI and machine learning ML services that can naturally communicate with your users through vision, hearing, and speech. It also provides storage solutions that dynamically grow to accommodate massive amounts of data. Azure services enable solutions that aren't feasible without the power of the cloud. To create and use Azure services, you need an Azure subscription. When you're completing the Microsoft Learn modules, most of the time a temporary subscription is created for you, which runs in an environment called the Learn Sandbox. When you're working with your own applications and business needs, you need to create an Azure account and a subscription will be created for you. After you've created an Azure account, you're free to create additional subscriptions. For example, your company might use a single Azure account for business and separate subscriptions for development, marketing, and sales department. For example, your company might use a single Azure account for a business and separate subscriptions, such as for development, marketing, and sales department. After you've created an Azure subscription, you can start creating Azure resources within the subscription. You can purchase Azure Access directly from Microsoft by signing up on the Azure website or through a Microsoft representative. You can also purchase Azure Access through a Microsoft partner. Cloud solution provider partners offer a range of complete managed cloud solutions for Azure. Let's take a moment to watch this video created by Microsoft.
In order to start taking advantage of the wide array of Azure services, you'll need to first sign up for an account. If you are completely new to using Azure, you can begin exploring what Azure has to offer by signing up for an Azure free account. An Azure free account includes access to 20 Azure products free for 12 months, access to additional products that are always free, and a $200 credit to spend during your first 30 days. For more information on signing up for an Azure free account, head here. If you work for a large organization, you may be able to purchase access through a Microsoft representative or through a Microsoft partner. Finally, you can purchase access directly through Azure.com. With pay-as-you-go pricing, you pay only for what you use each month, with no upfront commitment, and you can cancel at any time. Once you have an active Azure account, you may want to create additional subscriptions for resource or billing management purposes. If you have multiple subscriptions, you can organize them into invoice sections. Each invoice section is a line item on the invoice that shows the charges incurred that month. You can also set up multiple invoices within the same billing account by using billing profiles. Each billing profile has its own monthly invoice and payment method. Once your account is active and billing is set up, you're ready to start using Azure. As a part of your subscription, you have 24/7 access to online documentation, community support, and new Azure Capabilities demo videos created by Azure engineers. For more information on the support resources available to you, head here.
The Azure Free Student account offers free access to certain Azure services for 12 months, a $100 credit to use within the first 12 months, free access to certain software, and the Azure Free Student account is an offer for student that gives $100 credit and free developer tools. Also, with the student account, you don't need a credit card to sign up. Many of the Learn exercises use the technology called the Sandbox, which creates a temporary subscription that's added to your Azure account. The temporary subscription allows you to create Azure resources during a Learn module. Learn automatically cleans up the temporary resources for you after you've completed the module. When you're completing a Learn module, you're welcome to use your personal subscriptions to complete the exercises in the module. However, the Sandbox is a preferred method to use because it allows you to create and test Azure resources at no cost to you. This module requires a sandbox. Before we get into the exercise, we need to activate the sandbox. A sandbox gives you access to free resources. Your personal subscription will not be charged. The sandbox may only be used to complete training on Microsoft Learn. Using the sandbox for any other reason is prohibited and may result in permanent loss of access to the sandbox. Microsoft provides this lab experience and related content for educational purposes. All presented information is owned by Microsoft and is intended solely for learning about the covered products and services in the Microsoft Learn module. Activate the sandbox. In this exercise, you can interact with the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. The goal of this exercise is to help you explore the Learn Sandbox. You can interact with the Microsoft Learn Sandbox in 3 different ways. During the exercise, you will receive instructions for at least one of the 3 methods. You can start by activating the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. Then you'll investigate each of the methods to work in the Microsoft Learn Sandbox. If you haven't already, use the Activate Sandbox button on the screen to activate the Learn Sandbox. If you receive a notice saying, Microsoft Learn needs your permission to create an Azure account, If you receive a notice saying Microsoft Learn needs your permissions to create an Azure resource, use the Review Permission button to review and accept the permissions. Once you approve the permissions, it may take a few minutes for the sandbox to activate. Follow along in the Microsoft Learn Sandbox over the next 4 slides to learn how to execute and navigate the sandbox. Once the sandbox launches, the screen will be divided in half. On the left side, you'll see the instructions. On the right side, you'll see the PowerShell interface. If you're familiar with PowerShell, you can manage your Azure environment using PowerShell commands. Pro tip, you can tell if you're in PowerShell mode by the PS before your directory on the command line. Use the PowerShell getDate command to get the current date and time. Type getDate. Most Azure-specific commands will start with the letters AZ. The getDate command you just ran is a PowerShell-specific command. Let's try an Azure command to check what version of the Azure CLI you're using. Type AZ version. If you're more familiar with Bash, you can use Bash commands instead of shifting to the Bash CLI. Enter Bash to switch to the Bash CLI. Tip, you can tell you're in Bash mode by the username displayed on the command line. You can also see that the directory no longer starts with PS. Again, let's use the getDate command to get current date and time. Oh, you received an error. What's the error for? Well, the getDate is a PowerShell-specific command. Use the date command to get the current date and time in CLI. Just like in PowerShell mode of the CLI, you can use the letters AZ to start with an Azure command in Bash mode. Try to run an update to the CLI using the AZ upgrade command. You can change back to PowerShell mode by entering pwsh on the Bash command line. In Azure CLI command line interface, interactive mode provides an alternative way to interact with Azure services and resources. When working in interactive mode, you can enter commands directly into the command line interface and receive real-time feedback. The interactive mode in Azure CLI offers the following benefits. 1. You can explore commands and options. You can discover available commands, explore different options, and obtain more information about their usage using interactive mode. This helps in learning and navigating the Azure CLI effectively. 2. Auto-completion. Interactive mode provides auto-completion functionality, which suggests available commands, resource names, and parameter values as you type, which can save time and prevent typographical errors. 3. Command history. You can access a history of previously executed commands and easily recall and rerun them. This feature helps you reuse commands or modify them slightly without typing them from scratch. 4. Improved command syntax. Interactive mode assists in constructing correct command syntax by highlighting any mistakes or missing parts. It provides instant feedback and suggests corrections to help ensure accurate command execution. Another way to interact is using Azure CLI interactive mode. This changes CLI behavior to more closely resemble an integrated development environment, IDE. An IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, is a software application that provides a comprehensive set of tools and features to assist software developers in writing, testing, and debugging their code. It is a user-friendly environment combining an editor, compiler, interpreter, and other programming tools into a unified interface. The primary purpose of an IDE is to enhance developer productivity by providing features like code auto-completion, syntax highlighting, code navigation, debugging capabilities, and built-in build-in project management tools. It usually supports multiple programming languages, allowing developers to work on different projects within the same environment. Some widely used IDEs include Visual Studio, Eclipse, and Xcode. Each IDE may have specific features and target different programming languages or platforms. Still, they all aim to streamline the development process and provide an all-in-one solution for software development. Interactive mode provides auto-completion, command descriptions, and even examples. If you're unfamiliar with Bash and PowerShell but want to use command line, interactive mode may help you. Enter AZ Interactive to enter interactive mode. Then decide whether you wish to send telemetry data. Enter yes or no. You may have to wait a minute or two to allow interactive mode to fully initialize. Then enter the letter A, and auto-completion should start to work. If auto-completion isn't working, erase what you've entered, wait a bit, and try again. Once initialized, you can use the arrow keys or tab to complete your commands. Interactive mode is set up specifically for Azure, so you don't need to enter AZ to start a command, but you can if you want to, or are used to it. Try the upgrade or version commands again, but this time without AZ in front. Type version. Write upgrade. The command should have worked the same as before and given you the same results. Use the exit command to leave interactive mode. Type exit. You'll also have the option of using the Azure Portal during sandbox exercises. You'll need to use the link provided in the exercises to access the Azure Portal. Using the provided link instead of opening the portal yourself ensures the correct subscription is used and the exercise remains free for you to complete. Sign into the Azure Portal to check out the Azure web interface. Once in the portal, you can see all the services Azure has to offer, as well as look around at resource groups and so on. To exit the Microsoft Learn page in your portal, you need to switch directories to your primary directory. Click the icon in the upper right corner, select Switch Directory, press Switch. Stay tuned to watch part 2 and continue along with the Microsoft Learn module. And thank you for watching.